Yes, thank you for the floor. So, I had three answers and three small digressions. In terms of co-productions, if we look at France, we release 240 films a year, and we can split them into three. 1/3 is financed fully by French money, 1/3 is financed predominantly by French capital, but there are some co-producers abroad, and another third is when foreign capital is dominating and French producers are co-producers. But all of these films are recognized as French films, they're considered as French films, and I think Sergei Siryanov is absolutely right. Since we have so many co-productions, we can share ideas and develop our cinema together. As far as shooting in France, indeed, you're right. A tax law was adopted by our parliament to attract people to France, where you can shoot not so expensively, because it's much better to shoot Paris scenes in Paris and not in Prague, after all. So we are trying to do everything to promote the image of our country through cinema. We know that thanks to cinema, the whole world knows about France, because everybody sees France on big screen, and France. We've had an opinion study. We know that foreign tourists immediately choose France and not Greece or Italy, because France is always on screen. That's how they know about our country. They know about it from cinema. So it's hugely important economically as well. The third point, just to conclude, I work in a company called Unifrance. It's a semi-state-owned company aimed at promoting French cinema abroad. I brought some brochures which are laid out somewhere. Now, we talked about threats. Now, what kind of threats can we expect now? I won't talk a lot, but I've monitored what's happening in Russia, and I can tell you the following. Unifrance is promoting French cinema as a whole, as a package, because for us, for French people, cinema is a monolith. Wrestle, they can't exist without each other, because this kind of special film is very similar to commercial film, and there are many bridges between them. Sadly, I spoke in Russian, and I understand that everything is doubling here. You have two unions, two national prizes, because you have two parallel cinema industries that don't talk to each other. You have commercial cinema on the one hand and artistic cinema on the other, and because Russia is facing the task, or as Timur says, Russia is facing the task of why doesn't Russian film travel? There are many reasons, but one of the reasons is that promotion is missing. You have to promote Russian cinema, and it's a threat. I am worried that they will start promoting only one part of their filmmaking potential. This is anathema to me. You have to promote cinema as a whole. I work outside France. I don't promote my personal taste. I promote everything that's made in France equally. Nobody's interested in my personal opinion, after all. So I think Russia should solve this problem and start promoting all of its film industry, because abroad we watch stuff that you don't watch, and here you watch stuff that we don't watch. Until this problem is settled, Russian cinema will remain sort of outcast for a bit.
Edward, did you want to answer something?
I wanted to add a positive note to develop the thoughts of the previous speakers. First of all, I wanted to say that humanity will always need cinemas, just like they wanted them in the past. They wanted cinemas, theaters, and stadia. Cinemas will survive irrespective of how technology will develop. It will survive due to good films and good scripts. All the other stuff, all the these other alternatives, they just add popularity for us. We will always survive because we have good stories. Cinema will develop, live, cinemas will be built, all thanks to your good scripts. That's what matters to me.
Very quickly, we'll go around the room as we wrap it up. We've heard some of the risks from Dmitry and from Joel. Elizabeth, biggest risk to the industry right now, very quickly.
I think we're in danger of losing sight of what film is all about by focusing too much on technology and by being so slavish in search for excellence in technology, which is ultimately people go to the cinema for an emotional experience. They want love, they want escape, they want to see something that thrills them, and I think that comes with a very strong idea early on in the process. Forget how you're going to produce it and the technology, is what's the core idea. And if we lose that because we're so concerned about whether it's going to be in 3D and when the DVD is going to come out, I think that's when the problems are going to start coming.
Timur?
I think the
biggest problem is continuing this sort of thing. So the biggest problem is losing our link with the audience. If we forget what it is that the people want to see, and if we start giving them something that's important for us, but not for them, that would be hugely dangerous.
I'd say risk aversion is probably my greatest fear, because really great movies are stories that you haven't heard before. And in the U.S., there's such a reliance at the studio level on sequels and remakes and branded subject matter that it's. I looked at one. I won't mention their name, but one of the big 6 studios. I looked at their slate for next year, and 100% of their slate is either a sequel or a remake or some kind of branded IP that the movie's based on. And I think that's, for me, that's the on the artistic level, that's the biggest risk. Is that the best films are ones that is like something you've never seen before, and the attempt to overly analyze and overly run numbers and all that kind of stuff on movies, I think is for me my biggest fear.